Hello, fellow YouTubers, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. On the last episode, we started day 3 of an investigation by staying in our office, and Phoenix told a story about his past, about how him, Larry, and Edgeworth all became friends due to a class trial 15 years ago. So, now with that out of the way, we're gonna get some more backstory this episode by starting with Edgeworth's goals, and then we're gonna be heading out to places so that we can get some more. We can actually start an investigation. Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after that class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. Oh no, I gotta go back to the kid voice. I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. A famous defense attorney. Then, a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DO6 incident. Right. I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad. It was several years later when I heard Edward's name again. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark Suspicions of a Demon Attorney." Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts. The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. And that's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him, I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it though. I wanted to meet him, to learn why he had become who he became. That's when I decided. Wait, you don't mean... That's why? That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, he knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. I knew he'd have to meet me in court. Edgeworth believed in me, and I believe in him. He's in pain, and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help. Whoa, Nick. So is that why you helped me out for free? Hey, of course Larry goes straight to money. Yes. I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. Aw, Nick! Nick! We have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Right. It very well may be. First, there's that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. Hi, Larry. Okay, so we just cleared out a bunch of things out of our court record. We took care of the camera. The camera's gone. We also took care of the second photo that Lotta gave us, the one that didn't have anything in it. That's gone. By the looks of things, the article about Gordy is gone. The air tank is gone. We still have the DL6 file, which is good because that's still kind of linked to this case altogether. We still have the metal detector. We should probably get that back to Gumshoe eventually. But first off, we're going to head over to the detention center. Remember why I said why this was linked to this episode? Because now we're going to hear it from Edgeworth's perspective. You look as grim as always. Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial. Class trial? What do you mean? don't remember? No, I don't. Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 4th grade? Lunch money? Oh, all right. I seem to remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it's probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Don't go sharing everything with people. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple. To a fault, even. Well, maybe, yeah, but I think you've changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Alright, Edgeworth time! Let's talk with him now. I mean, he did just drop a giant bomb on us when he last spoke with us that he might have committed a murder because he had a nightmare about it and he could not stop remembering it. So we should probably figure out something about that. But we're going to ask him why prosecute, and we're going to ask him about Von Karma instead of, you know, the why murder. Hey, Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter, any way you look at it. Yet, he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I had lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory? Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had become not of sound mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Wow, I could not read that sentence! I, stumbled several places throughout there. Yogi was released due to a lack of evidence. Innocent. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. Oh, so he hates defense attorneys because his father was killed and it wasn't properly put to rest. It wasn't solved. Well, that sucks. How about Prosecutor Von Karma now? What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of the courtroom techniques from him. So, he's like my sister was to you, Nick. How Maya's voice to Edgeworth's voice are like the completely opposite parts of my voice. He is a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he is obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Perfectly, huh? In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved. And not one suspect was declared innocent. Ever. But that's... I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. How many cases of that in 40 years? All Von Karma does is his job. All Von Karma does is his job, to find the suspect guilty, perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth? If what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow.
He's right! No time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth!
It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit. No kidding. So... Edgeworth knows that Von Karma is completely a perfectionist, and that if we don't do anything to stop that, he is going to be found guilty, even though we pretty much pointed the finger and, you know, showed light on top of the boat shop caretaker, who was clearly a better suspect than Edgeworth. But I think that about does it for this episode. I mean, we got Phoenix's past last episode, and we got some more of Edgeworth's past in this episode. I don't think there's going to be an episode we're going to be dealing with Larry's past to complete that little trifecta, but whatever. I mean, we had Larry's trial in like episode 1, 2, and 3. That's enough. So, on the next episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, we are going to be heading over to other places because we still have to go actually do some investigating instead of talking with people. So, until next time, hopefully you enjoy.